Hey there. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hey, Brimstone. I'm doing really well. Yeah. How are you doing? Is the audio good? Everything sound alright? Before I get too deep into it, I want to make sure everything's ship shape. Yeah. Yep, that was at Furrydelphia. Well, hopefully you'll be able to make it sometime in the future. Yeah. Yeah. Enjoyed a nice Labor Day weekend. Weather's been absolutely beautiful this past few days. Temperatures actually like in the mid to upper 70s. Beautiful blue skies. Then I hear well tomorrow's supposed to get like up into the 90s, and like the majority of next week's supposed to be like the mid to upper 90s, like a genuine heat wave. So yeah. Hey Max, good to see you as usual. The sound all right? Can you hear me? Let's make sure everything's working. Oh, Bruce says it's been 103 all last week. Wow. Whew. And let me say, I love summer weather. I love the warmth. But once it gets like above 90, then it's too much. And triple digits, it's just too much. Yeah. Here in Pennsylvania, where I live, we get up into triple digits every once so often. Like this summer, I doubt. Well, we might actually flirt with 100 degrees this coming week. But generally speaking, we usually get like, we're supposed to be only like in the mid to upper 80s, and then sometimes it gets up into the 90s, and then once every few so many years, we get like up to triple digits. Yeah. I'll wait a couple more minutes, and then we'll dive in and get started. Ah, good. All right. Yeah, Max. Yeah, Max knows a lot about nail binding. Yeah, he's becoming an expert on in that subject. Yep. Hey, Daniel. Enlighten us again. What do you need enlightenment on? Depending on the subject, I may or may not be able to help. Oh, just a quick FYI, in case you haven't noticed, on the bottom left screen, I created like a new icon slash sticker. If it looks familiar, it's because like for the I had to do. Let me double think. I'll make sure I get this right. Yeah, for the con video for Anthrocon that was recent, I drew like my own thumbnail, like the drew like myself staying outside the David L. Lawrence Convention Center in Pittsburgh, with the waving pose. And like, hey, that would make a really good like icon or thumbnail. So what I did was I removed the background and cropped it out, and then yeah, made a like an icon. So like going forward, like I'll be using that more often. Yeah. Oh, the furry convention. Oh yeah, that's why we're all here. Don't worry. The majority of the time, I'm going to tell you all about my adventure there. Just kind of just wait a little bit for everyone to funnel in and get started. Yeah, before we deep dive into the good stuff. Yeah. All right. All right. I guess we'll get started. So, howdy everyone. Good to see everyone here. It's Tales from Furrydelphia 2023. So if you notice, it was a pun. The pun on the tails. Yeah, get it? Haha. Yeah, this thing here. This thing that always seems to get stuck in my chair when I go to get up. Anyway. So, this is the third time now I've attended Furrydelphia. And I have to say, by far, this is my favorite con experience I've had. I've been to a total of 6 conventions, and yeah, the best experience, and I'll go into details as to why. As usual, feel free to ask as many questions or ask as many or say as many comments as you like. I'll be happy to answer. And yeah, and as we go through like the pictures and video footage, if you like identify anyone or have any fun facts or any fun stories, feel free to share. And yeah, because I like that. I like interaction. Yeah, I did hear about Bob Barker. Yeah, it's fortunate in his passing. Yeah, he was the host of The Price is Right for quite a long time. Mm-hmm. And of course had his cameo. What was the movie called? Happy Gilmore, I think it was. Yeah, the one with Adam Sandler. Yeah, I did that, like the golf tournament, whatever. Yeah. All right, without further ado. So Furrydelphia 2023, it was held the same place as last year at the Sheraton downtown Philadelphia. It's right off the Vine Street Expressway. I think it's either like the 15th or 16th Street exit. It's one right in Center City, Philadelphia. Now, last year I just went down there on the Saturday just for the day because I recently attended the Anthrocon, and everyone knows how expensive furry conventions can be. So I decided, spur of the moment, just to go down there for a day. However, this year I actually plan out to go the entire weekend, and for a multitude of reasons, just because I felt obviously it'll be a better experience. I'll also be able to fursuit, whereas last year I didn't even bring my suit with me, and also as of last year I finally paid off my student loans, so that's extra money in my pocket. So I'm like, let's go all out, let's do this. So yeah, so I was able to have off all those days from from Thursday to the Monday. So the majority of Thursday I spent just kind of dilly-dallying here at home, make sure I have all my plans in order, did all my packing the day of, because I had it pretty much all day, because pre-registration didn't start till 3 o'clock. So I actually left right at 3 p.m. and I expected it to be a nice leisurely drive. So I was expecting to take no more than probably like an hour 15, hour 30 minutes, because that's about how far I live from Philly. Boy, was I sadly mistaken. Like, the start of the drive was all right, but then as soon as I got to like the King of Prussia area and hopped on the Schuylkill Expressway, which is Interstate 76, and that's also where you get off if you were to take the turnpike, which I vehemently avoid because it's freaking expensive as heck. So I took like from the luxury, I took Route 30 out and then 202, the whole shebang. So I hop on the Schuylkill Expressway, and that's when we started coming to a dead stop. And it was just bumper to bumper car, stop and go, stop and go. I'm like, oh god, I hate this. And like the entire way from that point all the way into the hotel in Center City, Philly, it was just stop and go, stop and go. And I'm thinking, well, I expected to be a little busy and the traffic to be a little heavy because, yeah, it's Philadelphia. It's a big city. However, I was going in toward the city. I was expecting, like, you'd think the traffic would be heavy coming out, like, for commuters leaving to go home for the day from work. But no, as per usual, as my luck would have it, the inbound lanes to Philly were bumper to bumper. Outbound, they were just zooming on by. So, oh well. So it took actually a little over 2 hours to get there, but slowly but surely I finally made it there on time. Or not, well, kind of on time, but I made it there. And so I arrived there, and I'm like, I wasn't sure. Like, I knew there was parking right below the hotel, so I drove directly there rather than the garage where I parked last year. It's just a block away, like across the street. So rather than parking there, I was like, hey, since I'm staying at the hotel, may as well just park at the hotel parking lot. And I figured it wouldn't be a problem because at the West End, I was able to park there. You know, I drove underground, parked myself, and I was there the whole time. Well, for some reason, like this year, well, here at the Philadelphia hotel in Sheraton, I saw a sign say something to the effect like the underground parking was like full or something. I'm like, oh my god, and I was so tired of being in the car and sitting in traffic. So I just pulled up to the entrance and I'm like, I just had them had the valet park for me, so I don't have to deal with it anymore because I just wanted to get out of the car and stretch and all that. So yeah, so the valet was able to park the car for me. So I got out and then I went inside, checked in, got my card, and went directly to my room. I was on the top floor, by the way. Yeah, floor 26. And there's one floor right above that called the rooftop, but that's just like a ballroom or like a area. And actually, the con utilized that space for some of its events. But like I was like at the top floor as far as rooms are concerned, and I had a really nice view of the city. Yeah. Another funny thing is, like, in order to operate the elevator, you have to like activate your key, like use your key card and swipe it. However, for the 26th floor or whatever, I myself had to use my own card for whatever reason. Like the button on 26 wouldn't activate unless someone on that floor has their card with them. So every time I had to do that. Anyway, so I get there, unload all my stuff, and then I immediately go back downstairs to go to pick up my badge. Now I remember last year they mentioned so there's like a registration snafu where for whatever reason like the system shut down for a little bit of time, so like they preemptively like set up a system called like the airport system. Like if you've ever been to an airport to go to like the check-in counter, they have like a whole bunch of lines going across the counter there, and so they have different lines depending on the first letter of your last name. So since I was already pre-registered by like I think it was like July something or other, all I had to do was just show my ID and all that, and then they were able to give me my badge, all my con stuff, and my shirt, and I was good to go. Now the funny thing was when I pre-registered, I don't remember ordering the shirt. So the guy's like, "You ordered extra large, right?" I'm like, I don't remember ordering the shirt," and he's like, "Well, yeah, it's there in your profile." I'm like, "Okay." So then, boy, was I glad I did, because let me tell you. This is one sweet shirt. If I'm able to hold it up correctly. There we go. Yeah, I really like the shirt design. Yeah, a really cool design. I think I'm holding it upside down, aren't I? Let's hold it up right side up this time. There we are. Yeah, really cool shirt. Yeah. So I got that and all my goodies. And off to the races. So, before I start with my pictures, let me actually show you all my goodies, and then we'll delve into the footage. All right, so first things first. So this is actually, I did not get this at the con. This is at Ready Terminal Market, which is where I went for one of my meals. And they handed the one place where I got food. They handed out these recyclable, reusable bags. So it's nice to have that. Now, the bag I got at Furrydelphia, keep holding everything upside down. Yeah, it's another smaller version of that kind of bag. Yep, it's Furrydelphia. Flat Pack City was the theme for this year. And if you kind of notice, now they're not officially allowed to say they're associated with IKEA or whatever, but there's like a Swedish theme, and like it has to do with like furniture and self-assembly, so you put two together, it's like a lot like IKEA. But yeah, so there's the goodie bag that was handed out. And inside the goodie bag, we have the handy dandy con booklet. And this is really helpful. For those of you who have never been to a con before, this is your Bible. This is your go-to guide for everything. And it has everything except for the schedule. And that's because it's always changing, always morphing and evolving. And then you just go to the website for that information. So there's your con booklet. And always like Bella Reed Pitbull Rescue. They've pretty much been sponsored by the con as long as I can remember. Yeah, like every year they're always the beneficiary of the donations. And then, yeah, they have like a floor plan of the con area at the Sheraton, downtown Philly. It's effectively on 3 floors plus the rooftop ballroom. And then here's the guide of the dealer's den. It like shows all the different vendors and where they're located. Yeah. And then let's see what we have. Oh yeah, there's all the different DJs scheduled for the raves every night. And then this is really helpful too, the dining guide, because yes, there's a restaurant there in the lobby, but it's often encouraged, and other streamers would tell you, it's often encouraged like to venture out in the town and go to like the local eateries, and it's really good. And Drain, who's the con director, the con chair, like he personally went to each and every one of these restaurants and gave his personal reviews. And yeah, and I visited a couple of these, throughout my stay. And then here are all the different staff, the board members and the staff and all that, and yeah. And I thought at least a list of sponsors and all that. No, I got just the basic regular general tier, entry, just because I splurged on the AnthroCon and got super sponsors, so I decided to help keep my spending in check. So I didn't get sponsor or super sponsor, anything like that, just a regular basic entry. And I got the most out of it just for that. All right. Hey there, Michael. Oh, Jimmy Buffett passed away. No, I didn't know that. Wow. Yeah, just on the heels of Bob Barker passing. Yeah, sorry to hear that. Well, now he's spending eternity in Margaritaville, I guess. That's like the only song I know of his. The Margaritaville song. Alrighty, so moving on. So first here is, get myself situated. So here's my Stalkaz badge. I got commissioned way back when. Yeah, obviously, whenever attending a con, you always want to bring your badge with you, because that's how you identify yourself. Yes, you get the con badge upon registering, but it's always fun to have like your own badge with your fursona and your name and everything. That's the best way it's your name tag, effectively. And so, of course, when you register, you get your con badge. This is your admission ticket. So this is if there's one thing you have to keep with you and make sure you don't lose is your con badge. This is your admission ticket for the con. Yep. And in an event that somehow you lose it or misplace it, you first want to visit Lost and Found, and then if they can't locate it, then go back to registration, and they'll be able to like give you a replacement if need be. Yep. So here's your con badge. And notice the color scheme, like the Swedish blue and gold colors. Yeah. So that's all that. Let's see, what else do I have in my handy dandy tote bag? Oh yes. So one of the vendors at the dealer's den is the Furry mystery box. They were also at AnthroCon, by the way, and so I didn't buy anything from them, but they were nice enough to hand out this free mystery envelope, complimentary mystery envelope. So I opened it up, and here, what it includes is basically a whole bunch of stickers with like their logo or / mascot. So I guess it's a good way like to advertise them. So yeah, they could try to make me a marketer for them. But basically, the thing I bought at the dealer's den, a lot of the familiar vendors like that, fursuitsupplies.com and some of the other familiar, I can't think of any of it, but a lot of cool merchandise there, a lot of fursuit items, accessories, art. And then here's what I bought, these cool stickers, like the cat character. I never found out what the name of the character is. Yeah, but it's really, really cool cat character. That's what I got. Alrighty. And then later on, actually, one later thing. Speaking of fursuitsupplies.com, they're pretty cool with they provide a whole bunch of like accessories and trinkets and knickknacks, like for those of you that have for fursuit. And one of the people I met recommended I get one of these portable fans, and I wish I would have gotten this sooner, because this is like a lifesaver. Because like yes, they have the headless lounge there to cool off and rest, but of course you can't take that with you. You kind of stay there, and then once you're out suiting around, out and about, this is really a lifesaver. It's a godsend, because on the bottom, let's see, it's a USB chargeable. You can plug into the USB plug that charges up, and then here's your power button. And then here, just like a regular fan, there's 3 different settings: low, medium, and high. And then here, this number tells you like the percentage of battery life remaining. So it's really nifty. And then you keep pushing it for low. There's medium. There's high. and then you off to see fursuiters like stick this in their mouth, and it blows like really nice, cool air. It's really nice. Yeah. So maybe some more for you. And of course, there's a lanyard to wear it around your head. So, and oh, here's the USB plug. So anyway, all right. So that's it for show and tell. All right, let's get to the good stuff, shall we? Hey, Skylar. First stream seeing you. I love your videos. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. All right. Let me get my hooves back on. Actually, let me keep my one off so I can have better mobility. All right, so let's get to the pictures. So let me shrink myself. Alrighty. It's a little small. There we go. Actually, let me oops. Let me move my icon out of the way. So you probably don't need to see that. Let's put that up here. There we are. I would just keep moving it accordingly. Oh, thanks for the hugs. Yeah, Brimstone, exactly. Yeah, it's really cool. Literally, it's cool. I wish I would have gotten that sooner because for whatever reason, I don't know why, but like I would get like hot right away there at Furrydelphia. I get like kind of sweated and stuff. And of course, I've made plenty of trips to the Headless Lounge. But like at Anthrocon, which is a much bigger con area and a much more walking around, I didn't get as hot as I did there. But I don't know, maybe it's because like I don't know, it probably wasn't as cool as the convention center, and I did a lot more fursuiting at Furrydelphia than I did at Anthrocon. Like I wanted to maximize the time in suit, and I'm glad I did. All right, so here is Tales from Furrydelphia 2023. There's the thumbnail. There's a view of the skyline in the background. We'll go into too much detail because you're not here for, not here for a geography or architecture lesson. But the tallest skyscraper in Philadelphia, the tallest in Pennsylvania, is the Comcast Technology Center, which is immediately behind me there, the one with the little antenna sticking up. And then immediately to the left, the second tallest is the Comcast Center. And then you can barely see in the distance is the tall spire above the second R in Furrydelphia. That's the One Liberty Place. That was the former tallest skyscraper. Anyway, enough of skylines. It's overall, Philadelphia is a really nice city. Of course, rich in history, birthplace of the U.S. with the Independence Hall. There's a Liberty Bell. Amazing city, rich in history. There's lots of good museums like the Franklin Institute and the Academy of Natural Sciences. Philadelphia's 30th Street Station, it actually has like a mini museum and is an operating station for Amtrak. Lots of stuff to see and do. There's Fairmount Park. There's the iconic art museum where Rocky ran up the steps. South Street has a lot of quaint shops. There's the Penn's Landing, which is along the Delaware River there. Lots of cool stuff. You hop across you can either take the ferry or drive across the Ben Franklin Bridge over to Camden, New Jersey. You have Adventure Aquarium. Highly recommend that. All right, see you, Michael. So anyway, I keep getting caught in rabbit trails with like non-con related stuff. But anyway, if you ever have a chance to visit Philadelphia, it's well worth the trip. Lots of cool stuff. Alrighty, so this is me. This is Thursday evening. This is the lobby of the Sheraton, and it's Welcome to Furrydelphia. There's the mascot, and I'm kicking myself for not remembering the name of the mascot. But anyway, so there it is. There's your logo. Yep. And then this is taken outside my hotel room. Nice view of the city. And then there you can see the building here with the dome. I can find it. Yep, there it is. That is City Hall in Philadelphia. And it's basically the crossroads of the two busiest streets, or the two main streets. So you have Broad Street, which goes north-south, alternately known as 14th Street. Like the streets start at the front and the riverfront, and they go like 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and so on as they go west. For whatever reason, there's no technical 14th Street, but this is where it would be, called Broad Street. And then the main east-west street is Market Street. So yeah, nice view of the city there. Now driving in, it was kind of like it was overcast most of the day, and it was actually raining a little bit, so it wasn't the best weather. But like when you're at cons, you're generally indoors most of the day, so the weather really doesn't have that much of an impact. All right, here's a view facing the other way. I'm not exactly sure what these buildings are, but here you can see the Vine Street Expressway. That's the Interstate 676 going east-west. It goes under street level. It's a really cool highway. And that basically connects the Schuylkill Expressway, which is I-76, with the Ben Franklin Bridge, which is cross over to Camden, New Jersey. And also I-90 hits I-95 right before you cross the river. So yeah, and then Vine Street is on street level. It's split on either side of the highway there. All right, so here's the first place I went to eat. It's called Rex's Pizza and Beer. One of the places in the con guide that Drain recommends. And yes, this is Thursday evening. The streets are all kind of torn up because they're planning on paving it or something. But anyway, yeah, they had really, really good pizza. Well, I never actually had pizza, okay, but here it has really good pizza. They make a whole bunch of different Italian food. I myself got a cheesesteak there. Of course, Pat's and Gino's are probably the two most famous cheesesteak places. I've never been to either place. And there's like this ongoing feud between the two of them, claiming to be the best. But I got one there. Here, just because it's closer. Yeah. And here's a view of the aforementioned cheesesteak. And I got pickles, so it's just not that usual, but I think I love pickles, so why not? So, yeah, it was really good. On a separate trip, I visited a couple of friends from college. We went to this place called D'Alessandro's in Manayunk, which is kind of like right in like the northwestern part of the city, headed outside of like the art museum. They serve really, really good cheesesteaks, and there's like a line out the door because it's so famous and popular. Yeah, but this is pretty good too. All right, and then this is just me wandering around town. There's another view of the two skyscrapers, the Comcast Center and the Comcast Technology Center there. And then here's a view of City Hall. Yeah, facing walking down Broad Street. At the very top is a statue of William Penn, by the way. Yeah, founder of the colony and subsequently the state of Pennsylvania. Yep. And then here's the view. This is right outside the hotel. The view of the exit, like to get onto the Vine Street Expressway. Yeah. All right, and this is the shot I took for the thumbnail. This is actually taken Sunday morning, by the way. So this isn't technically chronological order, but the majority of my content is in chronological order. But yeah, you can see all the different skyscrapers there. Yeah, like Sunday was really beautiful. Crystal clear skies. Alright, so here's the first much video footage. So this is Thursday evening on the first night. Here's the entrance, and then there's the counter to check in. There's the Furrydelphia sign. If any of the audio is a little too loud, let me know in the chat and I can adjust it accordingly. I'm still not sure how to compare it with my microphone. Yeah, so there's quite a few people there already. And actually, after I went around with my camcorder, I went ahead and suited up. And yeah, it's the first I went suiting there. Yeah. So they have a really nice facility, nice and open. Kind of reminiscent of a shopping mall. They have a nice skylight. There's your restaurant. Yeah. I'm going to use a lot of this footage too when I do my con video. Yeah. Yeah, Thursday night they were still setting some stuff up. And there's a view of the skylight. Yep, there's the second floor. So that's where the artist alley is out there in the balcony, and then behind the doors there is the dealer's den. And at the far end, and if you could make a left, that's where all the panel rooms are and the headless lounge. And then here on the third floor is like basically the help desk, for lack of a better term. You know, like we have like lost and found if you need any assistance. Behind those doors there was people are saying that's where registration is. And then that's where I went for the badge pickup, for like if you register early, like pre-register. And that's also where the main events ballroom is. And then just beyond the doors there, to the left, where the people are standing, that's where the gaming area is. Yeah. Yeah, you can see the arcade. Yeah, they're still setting stuff up there. Yeah, lots of classic arcade games, and then they also have like gaming consoles and board games, card games, you name it. Hey there, Walter. Good to see you. Yeah, you can see some of the vintage, just the TV sets there. Your N64, like GameCube. I didn't see an SNES. I should bring mine along next time to share it.
Take some footage.
Yeah, lots of cool stuff. Alright, so that's the first video. Alright, here's a view of the room. Yeah, I like the cool design in the back there, the the lettering and all that. Big comfy bed. Yeah, nice room. All right, and then yeah, this is right when I went to pick up my badge at registration, so you can see it kind of resembles like an airport counter there. And it was really fast, really efficient. Cough cough Anthrocon, take note, right? But if you're like a sponsor, super sponsor, you get express line anyway. So they did this in order to counteract what happened last year with the snafu. So yeah, you go there, you just show your ID, and they give you your badge and your bag, and you're good to go. Yeah. And then anyone that registers the day or after the cutoff or goes there the day of, you have to go to the regular registration room, and just a little bit more of a process, but yeah. All right, and here's all my goodies that I showed earlier here on stream. Yep. I just can't get over how awesome the shirt is. I really like the design. Yeah. All right, here we are. This, I believe, is Friday morning. Yeah. A lot more fursuiters there. Yeah. I always have fun just like chilling here in the lobby, just like where the majority of people hang out, like the majority of the fursuiters. And I'd say the nice thing about Furrydelphia is obviously it's a much smaller scale than Anthrocon, which is now, as of now, the largest furry convention in the world. Everything's closer together, smaller quarters, so there's a better opportunity of seeing people that you want to see and meet people and stuff. Not as much walking, so you don't get theoretically as tired. Yeah, and you almost kind of, it sounds really cheesy, but I see it almost feels like family, because like you keep running into the same people over and over. Yeah. Yeah, if you recognize anyone, feel free to drop it in the chat. Philly's cheesesteak looks delicious, according to Max, but I never tried it with hot Cheetos before. I wonder what it would taste like if I had it on Philly cheesesteak. Yeah, I'm not sure. Good question. Yeah, of course, the daytime has slightly different vibes than at night. Night, of course, is darker, and that's when the raves occur. So, yeah, daytime, as you can see, is nice and bright and sunny. So they shifted things around. They made the room where the goes in is a little bigger, kind of doubled it in size, and then moved like the artist alley out here to the balcony area. Yeah, which is a good. They made a lot of good improvements from last year. Yeah. Yep. So there's a dealer's end. The reason why I don't have any footage of going in there is because they don't, according to the code of conduct and guidelines, they don't allow photography in there. To the left is like the safety area, like medical area, if you need that sort of attention. And then behind those double doors there in that room is like the con ops office. Yeah. It's a nice view looking down at the lobby. If you just take note of the chandeliers there that are dangling from the ceiling, it kind of reminds me of 30th Street Station in Philadelphia, the main concourse. It's very like vintage, very like aesthetic, like kind of 1930s aesthetic. I'm glad he preserved it. Yeah, there's a Furry Logic escape room that's often seen in furry conventions. I didn't partake, but I know a lot of people do. And then here's the corridor. Like to the left is the Headless Lounge. To the right there is panel room 2. There's a total of 3 rooms for panels. Yeah. So there's room number 2. And then if you take a sharp right there, in the back of that panel 2 is panel room 3. Yeah, sticker bomb. There's just a board where people put their stickers on. Yep. So down there is where panel room 3 is. Then there's a quiet room, like for those that get triggered by a bunch of noise and people. It's a good place to hide out, just to, it's a relaxing room. And there's finally panel room 1 that's the largest of the panel rooms. And the guy there with the book bag, I ran into him all the time. Apparently he has some sort of YouTube channel, but I can't remember the name. All right, moving on. All right, so here is Chevron the Wolf. I'm not sure who the person is to the left there. He's a common familiar face. Like he was at both Anthrocon and here at Furrydelphia. And yeah, he's a really, really nice guy, and he's very involved with VR chat. And yeah. So I ran into him like all throughout the weekend. And this guy, and unfortunately I don't remember the name. He has a cool dragon fursuit, but he actually lives close by to me in the area. Yeah, so we're just hanging out a little bit there. All right, now this is the elevator bank on the top floor on the rooftop, and I went up there just out of curiosity. It's the floor right above me. And it's kind of reminded me of Halloween. It's spooky, orange lights and creepy chandelier there. Yeah, kind of like a back room sort of vibe. But during the daytime, they would utilize the ballroom on this floor. Like for instance, the floor works preliminaries, the dance preliminaries, and I think the banquet for the super sponsor or whatever was held up here as well. Yeah, and behind these double doors is where the rooftop ballroom is. But I never went in because this was at night. I was assuming it was locked. Yeah, but yeah, I was the only person up here too, so it's creepy vibes. All right, and then here we are Friday morning. This is the opening ceremony. There's Drain, he's the con chair, and then his assistant deputy con chair, Higowitz, something or other. I forgot the exact name. Yeah. And then here's the dragon guy on the right. Again, I can't remember his name, unfortunately. And then here, this guy in front of Drain is Blind Wolf. And I remember seeing him last year. I went to his panel on furries and mental health, and I was very informative. And then he returned this year to do the same panel. Yeah. And by the way, there's the backpack dude, like I mentioned. I run into him quite a bit. Yeah. So there's the cool stage there. A funny thing was they were still setting the parts up on the stage on Friday morning, kind of scrambling around. All right, and then right after I went to the opening ceremony. I went to the dealer's den because it opened pretty much at the same time, and perused around there, and then dropped my stuff off in my room, and then I went out to the Reading Terminal Market for lunch. Now, none of these places were listed in the comp book, but I knew about Reading Terminal from other trips, and it has a lot of, it's kind of like a farmer's market, similar to the Central Market in Lancaster. Whole bunch of different food vendors. Yeah, kind of chaotic, kind of crazy, but really, really good food. And I forget the name of the place where I ate, but they serve a whole bunch of fried chicken, and they also serve cheeseburgers. So I got myself a cheeseburger meal, really good. The reason it's called Reading Terminal Market, as I learned at this con actually, this is where the Reading Railroad train station was for Philadelphia before it was decommissioned. So there are actually two railroad companies that service Philadelphia. There's the Reading Railroad, which of course connects Philly with Reading and probably other places, and also the Pennsylvania Railroad, which is effectively kind of like the predecessor to Amtrak. They're like the predominant railroad company along with the New York Central in the Northeast, and then they eventually merged into Penn Central, and then they swallowed on because they bit off more than they could chew, and they went bankrupt. But I'm not here for railroad history, but it's an interesting story. That of course the main station for the Pennsylvania Railroad is Suburban Station, which I showcased in my video last year, but not this year. But now it's serviced by SEPTA, which is like the Regional Rail Transit, Southeast Pennsylvania Transportation Authority. And actually, later on, I attended a panel on that. And then the current station is 30th Street for Amtrak, 30th Street Station, which is farther west. So you see, lots of people, lots of food. Rimsa says, one of these days, when I can get time off of work, I would love to go to the con. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely worth the trip. And if you're intimidated by lots of crowds of people, I think Furrydelphia is a good choice for a first con. Yeah, because they considered a medium-sized con. I've only been to 3, so it's hard to compare it, really. But, yeah. Yep, lots of peoples. So that was just several blocks away from the convention, or from the hotel. And actually, coincidentally, just not too far, like probably from a stone's throw from there, is the Pennsylvania Convention Center. That's a huge hall, similar to like the David L. Lars Convention Center in Pittsburgh, and like they host a lot of events like car shows, the flower shows held there. I think in March, and I think if Furrydelphia grows even more, I think it maybe eventually there might even hold it there at that convention center. Yeah, I've never been in the building itself, but it's a really big building. Alright, this is me coming back from the rain terminal. There you can see the hotel where all the rooms are there, the tower. Yeah. There's a nice outside view of the hotel. There's where the valet parking is. It costs quite a pretty penny, as you might imagine, but it saved me the hassle of finding a place to park and weaving through traffic and all that. So yeah, that's how I justified it. Here I am going around again. Ah, there you go. There's the backpack guy again. I'm gonna go ahead and take my head off just a little bit, just to get a breather. I don't really get hot too much, like especially when I'm just sitting, but every so often, like it presses against my forehead and nose, so I have to take it off just to decompress. Yeah, I'm stalking him. Like, unlike the convention center in Pittsburgh, notice how nice the carpet is here. Again, take note. I keep ragging on the carpet, but I just can't get over how ugly it is, the Pittsburgh carpet. So, to the immediate right there is the secondary events hall, and that's where Jonah Scott hung out. He was one of the guests of honor last year. He plays the voice of Legoshi from Beastars. And actually, I was able to get a picture of him. Yeah, there he is on stage in the back. And then to the left of there, that's the main events ballroom. Yep, and there I am with my handy-dandy camcorder. There's your arcade area again. I'm actually sorry it took so long just looking up how to cook Philly cheesesteak in air fryer. Let's see. There's Popeye, Donkey Kong 3. Yeah. Yeah, and then there's a new game called Toxic Crusaders. Yeah. I didn't play any of these games, I just thought it was cool to look at. There's all the different tables for the gamers. Yeah, card games, board games, consoles in the back. Yeah, another, like, they moved this area from downstairs, because that's why the dealer's den was smaller last year, because, like, the one side of it, they had the gaming room. This year, they moved it up to here, to this, I don't know, alcove, I don't know the right word. And so they were able to effectively double the dealer's den in size, so that was another good improvement they did. Alright, let's see what's next. Yeah, here's some more video footage. Oh, and here's a shot of, there's Sheila, who was one of the dancers in the dance comp. Last year she was served as one of the judges. Yeah. I didn't notice it at the time while I was taking the footage, but after reviewing it, after I got back home reviewing the footage, I noticed, oh my gosh, that's Sheila, and I saw her badge. Yeah. There's Chevron again. Yep, Chevron the wolf. Yep. Hey Drake. Yep, this is Furrydelphia from last weekend. I was at there. Yep. That's the guy I sat next to at the opening ceremony. I didn't catch his name, but he said like a lot of funny comments during the ceremony. Yeah. Oh, I see Drake. Yeah. Okay. They're in the loft again. Is the artist alley to move them out to the lofts to make more room for the dealer's den. Like for like the sponsor or like super sponsor tier, one of the things you get is like they call it the Blauhai. Part of I'm not a Swedish expert, but it's like the shark plushie that you can actually buy at IKEA. Yep. Here's down the lobby. Yeah, a lot of awesome suitors there. Oh, and there on the right's Ty the Saber. I hung out with him for a little bit. Yep, there he is. And he also was kind enough to take footage of me as I was suiting around. Yeah, really nice guy. He has a YouTube channel too. If you haven't subscribed to him, definitely consider checking him out. Yeah, everyone was so nice and friendly there. Got lots of hugs and waves and all that. Alright, let me put my head back on. There we go. Alrighty, so yeah, this fursuiter, his name is Star, and yeah, really nice guy and really cute, and yeah, he wanted to sit in my lap, like, hey, why not? So yeah, picture of us there. Yeah, not a problem, Drake. Glad to see you here. And then there's a view of yours truly, there's Chevron, and I'm not sure who the other two suitors are, but yeah, nice group shot of us there. And then these two dragons, and gosh, let me pull my Twitter feed to get their names. Yeah, so this time I came quasi prepared. Really, I loved both their fursuits. Really cool fursuits, especially the one on the right. And I ran into them several times, including like during the Headless Lounge when I was there. I complimented their fursuits, like it's so awesome and a lot of intricate details and all that. So let me try to catch their names. Go to my feed. Alright. The one on the right is Avala the dragon. And let me find the one on the left. Bear with me one moment. The one on the left is Satron. Satron. Pardon me if I butcher the pronunciation. Yeah. As you probably know, I love dragons. In fact, my secondary persona, Chase, is a dragon. So, and I hope one day to actually get a first for Chase. So I would absolutely love that. Yeah. All right, and this is inside the dealer's den. I had to romp around in suit, and then on the left there is Sniper. That's one of Twilight Saints fursuits / fursonas. I'm not exactly sure of the species. Often you see him as Rave, the Dino Dog, and that's how he performs in fursuit for the dance comps. But there was the first time I actually got to see him in Sniper. Yeah. Yeah, dragons are awesome. You're exactly right, Drake. Yep. Oh yeah, in the background you can see the Corgi beans. They're a familiar sight on the fandom and at cons. They make all the custom-made plushies. Yeah. Yeah. All right, and then so let me go back to my chronology. Try to navigate between talking about the pictures of what I was doing. So let's see. Yeah, so I got back from Ready Terminal, and then I decided to suit up and romp around, and that's where I got all these pictures. And then I was making my way toward the Headless Lounge, and here this one guy asked, "Hey, is your suit a roofer?" I'm like, "Yes, it is." As a guy, I know someone who has another roofer suit. Would you mind getting a picture? I'm like, "Absolutely, sure." So I went upstairs, And this is his name is Envy. It's like a bighorn sheep. Yeah, roofer bro. And so I got our pictures together. And little did I know, like that they actually hosted like one of the panels I attended. But I'll get into that in more detail later on. But anyway, it's cool getting a picture with the two of them. Yeah. Or picture with him, and the guy that introduced me was taking a picture of the camera. Yeah. Yeah, there's a trio of cool fursuits. Yeah, this is the one rave on Friday night. I was able to see Thursday was the first rave, but they wanted to check ID, and I didn't have my ID with me on the time, so I wasn't able to get in. But then, yeah. So this is kind of early on, so that's why it looks kind of sparse, because this one earlier on. And then I went back on Saturday night later on, and that place was jumping. Yeah. Oh, hey there, Jason. Good to see you. Yeah, so like I try to, I did more socializing, more of the rave going. I still get self-conscious because like I'm not used to going to like the dances and all that. I still like feel kind of self-conscious, but I'm making baby steps and I know putting myself out there. So yeah. 2 to 6 years to make those things. Wow. Yeah, there's another shot. There's a cool deer fursuit. All right, here is Jonah Scott. Yeah, he's the voice actor for Legoshi and Beastars. His second appearance. He came last year as well. Now he was also there available to sign autographs. However, I was ill prepared. I didn't have anything for him to sign, so I just asked for a picture, and he was nice enough to pose for me. Yeah, nice guy. I never watched Beastars because I don't have Netflix or whatever, but obviously it's a very popular show, not only amongst the furry fandom, but overall. Yeah. All right, and then here's Titus Saber. Yeah, we caught up with each other on Saturday. Really nice guy, yeah. And then, yeah, Ty was kind enough again to be my camera person and follow me around in suit. This is on the lengthier side, so I'm not going to like show the whole video. But it's just me going around in suit. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so just like romping around. I do some funny antics too. How many furs? I think it was around 2,500. Yeah, Cassie Civet, who attended there, gave the exact numbers. Yeah, there I am pretending to take off my head. Yeah, and also the numbers were revealed during the closing ceremony. But yeah, it was 2,500. Yeah. Thereabouts. Yep, and there's a quiet room. Alright, let me skip ahead. Yeah, hopefully I won't get any copyright issues or anything like that with the background music. Yeah, there I am raging. Oh, here's the cool dragon fursuit. I forget exactly what I was saying, but something like, I really love your suit, blah, 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 really detailed. Yeah. And then the guy there asked for a picture of the two of us, which I gladly obliged. Here we are posing. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yep, so there's the footage of that. All right. Unfortunately, I don't remember the name of this fursuiter, but I just really love their fursuit. Really unique. Oh, thank you, Brimstone. There's a cool deer fursuit with a big Pokeball. So the pictures aren't exactly the best quality because I have a kind of crappy. My phone has like a crappy camera with it, but like the majority of footage I take with my camcorder, and also when people are moving around, it gets kind of blurry too. Yeah. We'll rather come up there one of these days at that furry convention and meet you there, or you want to come up to Portland. Yeah, hopefully we'll run into each other somewhere sometime. Okay, and then this is Saturday afternoon. You see, I keep deviating from like my script. So this is right outside the main ballroom. So let me think. So yeah, so Saturday afternoon I went around a little bit of my own. Actually, well, first I hung out with Ty. I was actually in fursuit in the morning. Hung out with Ty and his significant other. We went around the dealer's den again, and then I left to get some lunch. Went back to that Rex's Pizza again. I got like a buffalo chicken cheesesteak there, and then came back and then got back into suit in preparation for the first group picture. Was at 3 o'clock, and this is right before as we're waiting, and they were playing like some of the people they were playing some games and all that while we're waiting to get in. Yeah. Let me pull up my handy dandy tablet again to get this fursuiter's name. So yeah, we got in there and it was very tiring because like we were trying to get as close together as possible to get in the shot, and then the photographer was on stage on a ladder and telling us like we had to stay still and yeah. So since the way the con space is set up, it would facilitate a parade. So we had a picture and stay, which was all right. I was thinking like next time, why don't they have some sort of like fashion show or something where like you walk across the stage, kind of like a fashion show runway, and do that in lieu of the parade or something. But that might take too much coordinating and it would probably get too crowded too, because like all of us fursuiters would be there, and then there wouldn't be any place for like the people to watch us, unless they make it completely just like an online digital thing. All right, let me see. All right, this is Zavar. The name is Zavar. Mm-hmm. All right, this fursuiter, shoot, I don't remember the name. Could you send me a picture of you, a dragon furry character from? Yeah, I could do that. I'll try to remember. If not, it's in my Twitter feed. I think it's also on Amino, on Instagram. Yeah, I have it all on my socials, but I'll try to remember, Jason. Yeah, so it's a cool rabbit fursona. And Lord Foog. All right, and then here's a whole bunch of cool suitors. This deer fursona, I love the deer fursuits. I don't know why. Possibly just being biased, being a hoof animal. So there's Rorik is the name, and there's a Lucario suitor, and I'm not sure who the others are. Yeah. All right, this panel. Okay, so yeah, back to the story. Okay, so yeah, did the group photo. That took almost like 30 minutes to 40 minutes because like waiting for everyone to go in, and we had to get scrunched together, and they had to take like, multiple shots, and then they're going to splice them together to make one panoramic. The photo itself isn't available yet, so hopefully it will be in the near future. And then what did I do afterwards? Oh yeah, I went back to my room, just rested a little bit. And then let's see. No. I take that back. Strike that from the record. After the group photo at 4 o'clock was another panel I attended. Oh my gosh, I completely skipped over what happened on Friday. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Let's rewind. I didn't finish what happened Friday. Oh, good. I'm going way out of schedule. So this was actually okay. Let me rewind. Oh my gosh. So yeah, Friday I went suiting, and then what did I do after Friday? Oh yeah, so I do suited in that evening. Oh yeah, at 3 o'clock. Okay, so my gosh, I'm like way out of order. So yeah, so Friday I went around, did suiting, and then afterwards I attended the 3 o'clock panel, which Drain hosted, called hosted a convention. Yeah, hosted a convention, and I wasn't necessarily interested in one. I was just wanted to hear like the ins and outs, like just getting information. By the way, there's Drain there and seated. And then this guy's mother inferior dressed as a nun. This is Higowitz in his mascot costume. I forget the name of the character, and I forget the name of these two guys on the far right. But anyway, so this was actually Tales from Furrydelphia's past. But anyway, so yeah, went to how to run a convention panel, and he gave a lot of good stories about like how the Furrydelphia came about, how like he and Higowitz too there were at the New Year's Eve Furry Ball in Newark, Delaware, and they got drunk, and they're like, hey, would it be really cool to have a furry convention in Philly? Because there really is one like right in that area, because like there's Furpocalypse to the north, Anthrocon to the west. There's what's the name of that? Furthermore in Southwest or in Virginia. It's like there's not one right and centrally located, and it's like, and then they woke up and they were sober. It's like, and it still sounded like a good idea. He said if it's idea sounds good both drunk and sober, it's got to be a good idea. So then the rest is history. And then 2017 was its inaugural year, and so he was talking about like how to start it up, and like a lot of it had to do with like the business aspect of it, because like, it technically is a business, even though it's a nonprofit. So I believe Furrydelphia is like incorporated, just like Anthrocon, and they had to file all the tax paperwork and like the 501c3 category and just designation to go through all like the legal aspects. And yeah, so there's a lot involved. There's a labor of love. It's like a lot of time and obviously a lot of money invested. Like he invested a lot of his own personal money, and he got help with others. And so basically that was the long and short of it. And like one of the main points he made is like if you want to be popular, this is not the way to do it. Because and he brought up a really good point. For instance, to name one other con chairperson besides himself and Uncle Kage, of course, who chairs Anthrocon. Name another con chair, and obviously the answer is no. No one knows any con chairs, and that just proves, if you want to be popular and all that, there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people want that, but this is not the route to take for that. And so that was a good point. So anyway, so yeah, it was just basically giving some behind the scenes aspects of how a con is run and all that. All right, so we're still on Friday. I'm so angry at myself for getting out of order. I got thrown off like the video footage, the pictures, and all that. All right, and then oh my gosh, before I stop it, I'm smacking my hand. Stop. Okay, so after that, then I went to the very next panel at 4:00, which was the advanced fursuiting panel hosted by Equa Silvermane and his friend what's the name? Sturmovic. Yeah. So, and basically, it's kind of like a fursuiting 101, but like the next level, like especially like if you're not at a con or like a meetup or whatever, if you're like out in the public, it's like tips on like how to do fursuiting and what to bring and all that. And of course, handlers. It's very important to have a handler with you. Make sure like any like and Equa Silvermane, like his one of his fursuits like it's a unicorn fursona, but he has a bunch of others. Hey there, A. Johnson. And so he would often go trek out like the different parks and nature areas and get a lot of really good pictures there. And he actually has like kind of like a backpack like hikers would wear, but it like fits this entire fursuit in that, like kind of like a huge duffel bag with shoulder straps. And like he says, like you have to plan ahead of time. Think about what your goal is. Do you want to go there to like interact with the public, or do you just want to go there quickly, get a picture, go in and out just real quick just for pictures? And like as I said, a lot of it has to do with like body language. You want to be like open, receptive, or just want to mind your own business sort of mentality. And then of course the public will act accordingly depending on your body language. And then he made a distinction about like, for instance, it's sometimes it's better to ask for forgiveness and permission. Like sometimes it's a good idea to like contact the person ahead of time to see if it's okay, if it's cool. Especially like, for instance, if you want to go to like a store or a shopping mall, you absolutely want to check ahead of time and see if it's all right and get permission. Whereas other places that are like more public in nature, you go there and and the people start yelling at you or whatever. It's like, I'm sorry, my bad. But that's the kind of thing with like the asking forgiveness thing. So it kind of all depends on the context. So I did that for a while, and then I met up with them afterwards and said, I'm Stalkaz, I'm the guy, the roofer guy with the picture, blah, blah, blah. So it's nice to meet them. And then what did I do? And then I went back to my room, suited down, cooled off, rested. And then what did I do afterwards? Oh, yeah, and then Saturday. No, this is still Friday. Stop. I get my time bomb mixed up. So Friday night, yeah. It's, unfortunately, I missed the Floor Wars because it's a titled Anthro Arena. And I was looking for Floor Wars to schedule, didn't see it, so I assumed that, I guess they're not having it. Well, it turned out that Anthro Arena occurred at 6 o'clock, so I missed that, unfortunately. But anyway, so 6:30 I attended this panel called The History of the Furry Fandom. And, let me, shoot. Let me pull up the Furrydelphia schedule so I get the proper names. Furrydelphia schedule. Here we go. And this guy was actually in the dealer's den. He's like a comic dealer, and it was really kind of informative, but it was almost like kind of like a long infomercial. A lot of the focus was like on comics and things of that nature. But it was still a lot of interesting information. How like it started like in the he said like the late '70s, with like some of the spin-offs of like the Comic-Con and like sci-fi stuff, and then people got together like shared artwork and all that. And then the first official convention, furry convention, is called oh, God, my brain is blanking. It's the one the Ash Coyote's documentary showcased it too. Oh, what is it called? I can't believe I'm blanking here. Oh yeah, so you have Halloween's coming up. Hey brother, I wanted to know what's that furry convention where you were at? Come there, what is see city? It's called Furrydelphia in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Oh, what is it called? Oh, conference. It's called conference. FUR. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, that was held like somewhere in California. And that was the inaugural furry convention, and then of course, then from that point forward, it got bigger and bigger, and then there's conventions all throughout the country. And it's explained how like the printing process got simpler. He kind of went into like the weeds with like printing and comics, but it was so informative nonetheless. So I went to that, and then oh yeah, then did some more fursuiting around, and then Friday evening at 9 o'clock. Here we are. Just brings us to this picture finally. So at 9 o'clock, Drain has hosted a panel called Drain's Tales of Furrydelphia's Past. It's kind of like the equivalent of Uncle Kage's Story Hour. Or he would like tell funny stories of like of experiences in past cons, and the one story that stuck out that the majority of the time was at the very first year, this inaugural year in 2017, said everything ran smoothly, and then until the closing ceremony, and then he's up there on stage, and all of a sudden, there's this one like this loud like emergency alert signal goes off. I don't know if you every so often you hear it. It's like this is a test or the emergency broadcast system, blah blah blah. Anyway, made that sound, and then the guy comes up and like stretches out his arm to Drain and asks for the mic. And then Drain, unfortunately, hands the guy the mic, and then the guy like goes, he's like far on the left field somewhere, and he starts rambling about stuff, and then you know, at this point, like Drain thinks one of his fellow con staff is playing a prank at him, and they're thinking that he's the one pranking them, and no one has any idea what's going on. And finally, security is able to grab the mic away, and at that point, the guy's like, he shouts out, "Do it now, Silent Bob! Do it now!" And at this point, he's thinking like so like he's gonna open fire or something. Oh, hold on a second. Yeah, a siren driving by. Speaking of siren, oh my gosh. Anyway, so like the guy shouts out, "Do it now, Silent Bob!" And all of a sudden, this guy throws out tons of money like into the audience, so like just dollar bills flying everywhere. And the trainer was like concerned, like, was this guy like gonna open fire or what's going on? And then later on, he had to talk with the guy, and the guy's like just acting like nonplussed and all that. And eventually, he just walks out of the con and drives off in the sunset, and he's never to be seen or heard from again. And then there's this other story where it wasn't at this hotel, but another, I forget which year it was, where Drain was he was done, he was just leaving, it was like late at night, and all of a sudden he starts walking and hears this sloshing sound. Like, he looks down and the carpet's completely soaking wet out in the hallway. And so apparently there's a leak coming from one of the rooms, so he and a few of the hotel employees knock on the door, and the guy's like stone face, looks completely dead inside. And they saw like a whole bunch of like pool toys stacked up in the room, and then Drain thought, oh, I know what's going on. And then here the guy's like, oh yeah, I was taking a bath and I must have fallen asleep, you know. And then Drain was like, no, nice try, you know. Like apparently the guy was like, yeah, he filled up the bathtub and was playing with his pool toys in the tub, and the water overflowed. So yeah, that's the other funny story that he told. And then after that, after the panel, then I went around and just yeah, and that was the first night of the rave. I just put my head in there just a little bit just to check out the rave to see what it was like. And then that was Friday. Now we finally get to go to Saturday, and that's when I met up with Ty, and that's when we went around fursuiting, Yeah, and then I went back to the same that Rex's Pizza for the buffalo chicken sub, or it's buffalo chicken cheesesteak, excuse me. And then yeah, here's another cool fursuiter, Kitsu Galaxy. Yeah, a really unique fursuit. I love the sparkles. Yeah. Max says I tried making it in an air fryer. It didn't work out well. However, it did cook, but it got dried up. When I took a bite of it, it doesn't taste like a Philly cheesesteak. Oh yeah, that's understandable. Yeah. Yeah, there's another cool fursuiter. The name escapes me. Alright, so yeah, so I did all that, and then did the fursuit picture at 3 o'clock, and then let's see, and afterwards, yeah, the de-suited, just rested a little, and then that evening at 6 o'clock was the furry dance competition. This is inside the main ballroom, so this is the dance comp, which is always like one of the highlights of my experiences at cons. I always definitely make a point to attend these, and yeah, so there they are on the floor, or there's a floor set up for the dance. Oh yeah, not too many pictures of that because I took like footage of the entire event, and as usual, Xander and Husky was the host. Saw them both also at Anthrocon. They competed as a group of 4 called Jocks, and then Xander always hosts the dance comp here. And then the 3 judges, surprisingly, none of them were repeats from last year. So one of the judges is oh yeah, Zero, who was a judge 2 years ago, and then another one of the judges is Eden. They were a judge 2 years ago as well, the 2 of them. And then there's also Nyx was the 3rd judge, and Nyx was actually the winner from last year's dance comp. But that's always a tradition to have the winner come back as a judge the following year. Oh, your name is Aaron Johnson. You're a furry. Yeah, you have a husky. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, so overall it was a really, really good event. And spoiler alert, the winner was Brenda Banks, the chinchilla, which is, I was really happy for Brenda because last year there was a snafu where Brenda is always creative and innovative and does very creative things. Like for instance, last year for Furrydelphia, they hid in a box the whole time as everyone was coming in, and then all 3 judges were performing ahead of time. And then by the time it was Brenda's turn to perform, their leg fell asleep, and so partway through their routine, they had to stop, and they weren't able to finish the routine, and it was kind of embarrassing and disappointing. So it was nice that this year Brenda ended up winning the whole thing. And in second place was Sheila. The 3rd place winner, the name escapes me. But like Kyer the Demon was back again. I always love his dances. And he has the beauty of the base fursuit. I mean, I just love everything about the fursuit and everything. Really, really nice guy. He actually was one of the judges last year, but this year he was a performer. And then Rave was also a competitor. I always enjoy watching him. So afterwards, I met up with Seiko. He's the Blue Jay fursuiter. Yeah, I like his fursuit. It's pretty wretched for what I did. Oh yeah, well, lesson learned. Oh yeah, and I think this is setting up for the closing ceremony. I think. Yeah. So like yeah, after the dance comp, then I kind of just chilled a little bit, and then I poked my head into the rave again for that night, and that was a lot more action there. Oh, my mistake. See, I'm getting all mixed up. This is actually during the dance comp. Okay, so here are your 3 judges. There's Zero, there's Eden, and then there's Nyx. Yeah, there's the 3 judges. I don't know where my brain is today. Like I was well prepared to have all my pictures in order, and then I go these wild tangents and lose my place. Okay, this is at the very end after the winners are announced. Yeah, but there you can see Kyer. Let's see. Yeah. All right, here's the Rave of Saturday night, and then here's this fursuiter. His name is Lightning Flash. As you see, he's a My Little Pony fursona, and there's Chevron again. Now, Lightning Flash, he's a really nice guy, and he was actually the one that recommended me get the portable fan. So yeah, and as you can see, he has like his suit lights up. It's just so cool. And in fact, an interesting story. He actually attended TrotCon, which is a My Little Pony convention in Dayton, Ohio, and that occurred like the week right after Anthrocon, and I believe he actually ran into one of my friends, who is also a a brony as well. So that was cool, cool little tidbit there. Oh yeah, here's Brenda. Let's watch their performance. Yeah. She says, I think I know who Uncle Kage guy wears black hat. Yeah. Yep, he has that in the lab coat. 82 degrees in Charlotte, North Carolina. Oh yeah. Like I mentioned earlier in the stream, but like here in Pennsylvania, it's supposed to get up like the mid to upper 80s next week. Or excuse me, mid to upper 90s. Mid to upper 90s next week. Fortunately, wasn't able to get a seat in the front row, so there's a little bit of obstruction, but I did the best I could. You see the judges love it. And their one football flew off onto the stage. Yeah. Leaving it all onto the floor.
Hey yo, BB. Hey yo, BB, your shoe up here.
There's Zattern, the host.
Free feeds. It flew up here. I don't know, it just launched itself. Free toes. Furry. Judges.
Hello? Okay. Excuse you. First of all, you had me tearing up over here. I'm gonna be honest.
Aww.
Like, you are so inspirational in your musicality and just how you convey the emotions you want to convey. And I'm dead serious. It's crazy. Like, you were just, oh, I love watching you.
Oh, thanks for the kind words, Aaron. And here to announce the winner.
Furrydelphia 2023 dance competition first place winner is, drum roll please, hard drum roll. Brenda Banks.
Yeah, the reaction is priceless.
Hi, BB. You win. Yeah, hi. Yeah, you. Hi, this is yours. You're the first place winner of Furrydelphia 2023 dance competition.
Are you sure? What? Huh? Huh? I am, but what? Hi. Quickly, I've been doing this for a very long time, and I've literally never won anything. And like, I was worried that wasn't very good, honestly. So, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, BB.
Yeah. Yeah, happy for them. All right. And of course, what would a convention be without some drama, right? Yeah, exactly, Brimstone. I just love watching it. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, there's me and Ty standing in front of a fire engine. Now, let me just say, we had nothing to do with this. We're just innocent bystanders. So this is right after, well, not right after, but a little bit after the dance comp. you know, I was out shooting around, and all of a sudden the fire alarm goes off, and I see flashing lights. I'm like, oh my god, what's going on? And then here, so eventually I make my way outside. I was already in the lobby, so I just had to walk outside the doors. And then Ty was already out there. And then I'm like, what's going on? And like about 5 minutes later, here comes the fire engine pulling up. And apparently what happened was someone in the Rave was like must have pulled the fire alarm, either intentionally or by mistake. So thankfully it was just a false alarm. And like within a couple minutes later that got the all clear signal to go back in. But yeah, so this seems like, you know, there's got to be some sort of a little bit of a dramatic episode. So I took a video of the fire truck pulling up, and then someone else that's still a little bit farther away, they had a view of like the hotel, like all the windows, and they think they all flashed up, and it kind of resembled like a Christmas light show. It was kind of funny. Yeah, here's the video I took. Yeah, ended up running against the curb there. Yep, so there's your Joseph drama. Alright, and here's a picture of the Rave on Saturday night. This is taken after we went back in. This is taken after all that hullabaloo. See a lot more crowded later on at night. Yeah, video. Yep. Alrighty, here's another shot of the dragon. Yes, I happen to be simping on it. It just don't blame me. You can't blame me. It's a really awesome fursuit. Yeah. Yeah, this is Sunday morning. More cool fursuits. Yeah, so that Sunday morning got up, went to this place called Sabrina's. It's like a local diner in the area, and I got myself like an omelet with home fries and all that. And then I came back and did some more fursuiting around. And then yeah, and then I went around, you know, with my camera, just capturing more sights and sounds. Yeah. Alright, what do we have next? Oh yeah, this is taken later on Sunday. A whole bunch of fursuiters are dancing around to YMCA by the Village People. Yeah. There's a guy with a big Mentos inflatable thing. It's like a mini rave during the day. Here's a shot of Ray's. Yep. Yeah, I love his fursuit. He has an insane talent when it comes to dancing. Yeah. Yeah, they're still jamming. Alright. And here's a cool dare fursuiter. I don't think I caught their name. Alright, and then I caught up with Arid, and let me get the... Lowell, I think, yeah. He has a fursuit named Lowell as well, a bunny, but yeah, know him as Arid the cat. Ran into him several times. I pressed Furrydelphia as well as Anthrocon. Yeah, nice guy. Couple more cool suitors. All right, so let me get back to the timeline. So let's see. So I wandered around pretty much. I just suited all early Sunday afternoon, and then at 2 p.m. there was a panel that I wanted to attend, and I didn't know what it was in store. So let me get the name and all that. Let's see. It's called "Oh the Furbanity: Unacceptable Shenanigans," and it's hosted by Kez. And basically, it has to do like talking about like transportation and SEPTA, which Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority, the pretty much like the commuter rail service for Philly and the surroundings. It's about like how like and I agree with some aspects and disagree with others. How like America's kind of like addicted to cars and need more investment and more focus on like public transportation. And yes, that's true for like for instance urban areas, but a lot of the U.S. is not urban. It's very rural or out and you have to have cars in order to go from point A to point B. But yeah, in any event, I always enjoyed riding trains, enjoyed riding subways and all that. And I talk about like SEPTA had like a lot of service to a lot of locations, and then I think in the late 70s they had some sort of strike and that cut down on the service, and some of the stations were abandoned and some of the lines were truncated or shortened, and yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah, you're right, Max raises badass. So it was interesting just talking about that sort of thing. And then immediately after that, I went to the dealership one final time just to stroll around before the closing ceremony. Oh, it's another shot of Ray's. Oh yeah, and then right next to Ray's, there's Drain, who's the chair of Furrydelphia. Nice guy. So like, yeah, long story short, so he's kind of like the Uncle Kage of Furrydelphia. Now, although they have very, very different personalities, they're kind of similar in that they both have a wicked sense of humor, and yeah, I guess so. Like for instance, like with Uncle Kage, he has like a very dry sort of dad joke kind of sense of humor. Whereas Drain, he's more like unfiltered, tell it like it is, sarcastic sort of humor. So yeah, but all around he's a nice guy. Yeah. All right, and then here we go. This is during the closing ceremony, and this guy here, he's actually from Sweden. He was one of the guests of honor. He's actually a chef, and let me see if I could get his name. Let's see. He was a really nice guy, and during the closing ceremony, we were talking about giving out all the thank yous and all that, and then like a good chunk of it was like raising, like during the closing ceremony, like the people were like coming up and donating more money to the charity, and they ended up raising over $10,000, and then as a result of that, the Swedish guy went on stage and sang the Swedish national anthem. Yeah. All right. Trying to figure out what his name is. Oh, let me actually. It might be easier just for me to look at the con book. Is it... where is it? I guess it is. Oh, that's all right. It's a Swedish guy. It's a Swedish dude. Anyway, what a nice guy. Yeah, and he said he enjoyed his time here at Furrydelphia. All right, there's a picture of yours truly, and this picture was taken by Ned Weasel. Want to give proper credit. Yeah. And there's a picture taken by Puck Fennec. All right, I believe that's, yep, that's all the pictures. All right, so let me enlarge myself. All righty. Wow, that was quite an adventure. It went by, the weekend went by so quick, but the final thoughts. So before I get to final thoughts, let me think about anything else. Yeah, so I attended close ceremony and they're rattling off the numbers. And actually, let me pull up the final statistics. I alluded to a little bit earlier, but before I get some final remarks. I should have bookmarked that. Why didn't I do that? Oh. Hold on, give me one moment. I thought I was going to be better prepared. Oh, where is it? I could have sworn. I had it bookmarked. Oh. Okay, let me search for it this way. Anyway, what did you guys think? Trying to find. Trying to find the post where it lists the exact attendance number. I can't believe I lost it. I could have sworn I bookmarked it. Okay, so long story short, so the attendance was about 2,500, which is about a 10% increase from last year, and it turns out that's the 13th largest convention in the world, which I was truly surprised. So, it's just right outside the top 10. So so there was a decent turnout. Yeah, Brimstone, it was a lot of fun. Oh, hey, Horsematic. Oh yeah, I can see that. Anyway, but the streams will always be up here, so you obviously at your leisure you can rewind back to the beginning. Yeah. Oh, happy birthday, Aaron. Yeah. I had a birthday not too long ago myself. Well, last month I did. So yeah. So okay. So yeah. So with the closing ceremony, announced all the numbers and all that, and then they played Dancing Queen by ABBA, on the way out. So how appropriate being a Swedish theme and all that. So afterwards, then I didn't really do too much afterwards. I just kind of hung out and chilled. And then Monday morning, bright and early, I got up and then I checked out and headed back home. So, but I really enjoyed myself. Like, this is by far like the best experience. Like, I really had a blast at Anticon this year. But Furrydelphia, I just liked because there's a lot more like interaction with other people, and I got a lot of hugs, and a lot of people asked for pictures, and made a lot of good connections, and yeah, it was more like more personal, I guess is the way to put it, and yeah, I mean it just made me feel really special, like, yeah, and all the kind words and the compliments and all that meant a lot to me, so yeah, I can't wait to go back next year, yeah. Cannot wait. So next year the plan is to go to both Anticon and Furrydelphia again, like I did this year. Yeah. No, the thing is, Furrydelphia. the way it was scheduled, like so another group was able to schedule their event at the same weekend next year. So Dreams Downstairs sort of closing ceremony. So it's going to be bumped up a couple weekends. So it's going to be earlier in August, which is fine by me. I mean, it'll be closer. Yeah, it'll be as long to wait. The only downside would be is that it'll be a quicker turnaround between Anthrocon and Furrydelphia. Yeah, quicker turnaround. Like when I get back from Furrydelphia, of course, I'm gonna do another live stream like I always do, and then the con video and footage and dance comp. So, yeah. Hey there, Breck. Good to see you. Yeah. So it was. Yeah, I just had an absolute blast there. Yeah, I'm definitely glad I went. And you guys have any other questions or comments? Do you relate to Furrydelphia or just in general? Tired. We lay down a little. Oh, this is so comfy. Too bad I just can't stream from this position the entire time. It's too comfy, I can't get up. Not force it around. Let's see. Bruce asked if I got postcard depression. I guess the short answer is no, with an asterisk. But it was like Monday was bittersweet because I had so many good memories, and then like Monday I had to leave to go back home. So I was a little bummed about the con being over, and like, but let me think about it this way. I mean, I would have considered that PCD technically, but then again, is there ever like an actual definition? But yeah, I was bummed about leaving and bummed about it being over. But I had so many amazing memories. I just keep reliving them and then sharing these memories with you right now. It kind of helps kind of counteract that. So that's kind of the longer convoluted answer. But no, I wouldn't say I had PCD, but yeah. Yep, that's right, Max. It's good to stretch. Yeah. In the meantime, is this bugging me and I can't find the exact number? Let's see. Oh, maybe let me see here. Okay, here we go, finally. The official number was 2,510. Yeah. According to Cassidy. Yeah, Cassidy's the one that tweeted that out. 2,510. Alrighty. Whew. Anywho, I think now's a good time to wrap things up. I just want to thank everyone for stopping by and allowing me to share my experience at Furrydelphia. Like I said, I absolutely enjoy myself. I can't wait to go back next year and make more awesome memories. And yeah, So on that note, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Oh, hold on. I got my hopes back on. I'm usually not this disorganized. Yeah. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. This is Stalkaz. See ya.